Good morning, folks. Sorry I haven't lived very much this week. Apologies for that. I've just been a bit full on. I'll just show you what's happening here at home. Trying to get the drainage out into the pond, albeit the pond is, let's just say it's interesting. It needs a bit of work on it. I'll show you. Maybe. Anyway, I thought I'd just tackle the subject because it's come up a few times. Well, it's always coming up, isn't it? How do I deal with my negative partner, my negative parents, my brother, my sister, in some cases children, if you're older and you're trying to do something and your children don't support you. Move the camera back a little bit. So, having been around teaching people for so many years and inspiring them, hopefully, to make changes in a positive way. Hey, Charlotte, good to see you. So I think the reality is, look at it this way, we walk through life picking up, developing and expanding and building on existing beliefs. These are beliefs that we've either witnessed from other people and we decided to inherit them as part of our own psyche. They're beliefs that we've developed because we had an experience. I talk about this in my Turning Point book. There's 4 levels of belief, actually. There's the basic belief, which is fairly easy to break, and then there's one that's absolute conviction, which is really difficult to break. And every human being goes from level 1 to level 4 at different stages in a certain area of their life. So the challenge you've got is, if you are someone with pretty strong convictions and beliefs about what you want to do, and you've got people around you that maybe have a similar level of belief about what you're doing, but it's the opposite to what you want to do, you're gonna be hitting heads all the time with them. And as much as you may like that person, love that person, care for that person, it just means that they have a different perspective of the world. It'd be no different to me putting on a pair of blue glasses right now, looking at the garden here and looking out, and then everything seems really blue. You could be stood next to me with a pair of red glasses and you go, no, but Ro, it's red. We're looking at the same scene, the same landscape. This is where when you look at neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, talks about the map is not the territory. You look at something, and when you look at it, I see some oak trees, I see some diggers there, I see the kids' trampoline over there, and I can see the landscape. And to me it looks, if I'm wearing blue, it looks blue. You put it on and you see a similar landscape, but it has a red tint to it. And that's your perspective of that landscape. And that's the challenge you've got, is that if you want to start a business, you want to go online, you want to write a book, you want to go travel the world, you want to start a network marketing business, you want to start a property business, you want to invest in your property training, you want to go and buy new products, new services, whatever it is. And I get this all the time. So when I'm going out and teaching people, and it's like, oh my God, I just spoke to my partner. Like I did an event last weekend, and we were offering people the opportunity for property education, and it's classic, isn't it? Somebody at home said you shouldn't do that, and because that person said you shouldn't do it, I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do it. Well, you have your own view of the world, you have your own convictions, you only have your own beliefs. So if you want a simple approach to this, it starts with you. It doesn't start with the other person. You could have 100 people around you and they'll all have a different perspective. They'll all have a different shade of green, red, blue, whatever, to what you're looking at. They may see the landscape the same way, but their perception of it is different. If I describe to you a scene, we're walking along the street, you and I, and as we're walking along, a man comes running out of his house like this, and there's blood all down his shirt just here, and there's a splatter of blood just on his face here, and he's running off like that. And he screeches down the street, and you and I just stop and look like that. And there's a couple of other people with us, and I look at you and you look at me, and you go, shit, I wonder if somebody's hurt. Hopefully, is he okay? Whereas the other person with us goes, shit, what's he just done? Who's he just stabbed? Maybe he's just killed somebody. 2 totally different perspectives. And I shout, hey mate, what's going on? And he turns around and he goes, oh, thank God for that. He comes running over, he's covering blood. Can you come and help me? My wife's just fallen down the stairs. She was carrying one of our children and some glass. My little one's all right. He seems to have landed okay, but she's landed on the glass. It cut one of her arteries. It's spurting out everywhere. It's gone all down me here, but that's why I'm covered in blood. But could you come and help me? I've got a bandage around her neck at the moment and around one of, but please help, call the ambulance. And at that moment in time, our perspective totally changes. Now, we may have had an initial perspective, which is we said, maybe somebody's hurt, but somebody else, like, oh, fuck, I thought you stabbed somebody. And he's crying, and we go inside. And all of a sudden the scene becomes clearer, because now all of us had an opportunity to see that situation for what it is. And that's the challenge you're always going to have. Sorry, I'm walking around with no shoes on a semi-wet flat roof here. So I think that's the point I want to make, is that when you see a situation and you absolutely have conviction about it and you know this is what you want to do, then stick with it, do it. Don't hold back. There are going to be people that are going to tell you this is bullshit. There are going to be people that say you can't do this. There's people that's going to tell you, I'm sorry, but I think you need to. I remember we thought about doing this 25 years ago. I've got a friend of mine that had a look at this and it's a scam, or it doesn't work, or you can't get into property, or you can't write a book, or whatever it is. Quite frankly, for every one person that tells you that, will be somebody else that says, actually, no, it will work. You just got to plug, and you've got to find the people that have done what you want to do, and plug into them, listen to them, learn from them, and allow them to reinforce that set of beliefs that you've got. I think that's the simplest way to do it. Sit down with the people that are negative around you, share with them your passion, tell them why you want to do this, ask them what their blocks are, what their fears are, let them paint their picture of the landscape. And if it's a tainted picture because of an experience they've had, ask them how they had that experience. And then you are hopefully watching this emotionally developed enough to make a judgment and go, well, I appreciate you feeding that back, and I realize you didn't have such a good experience, but my personal view is this: I'm going to get educated on this, I'm going to read books on it, I'm going to have a coach, a mentor, I'm going to go study it, whatever it is you're going to do, and I'm going to make my own decisions. And actually, I might make a few mistakes. Oh, it's my daughter here. And it might be that it doesn't go quite as well as I want it to all the time, but I'm prepared to accept that's part of the journey of success. And if you stand from that position and you have enough conviction, which is what I've always chosen to do as an individual. I've gone on lots of paths over the years. We did a fantastic podcast yesterday with Martin Roberts from the BBC Homes Under the Hammer. And we got under the hood, under the heart of him. A lot of people ask him loads of questions about property, and we did do that as well. But I wanted to get a sense of who he was, what was his upbringing, what took him on this amazing journey to get into where he's got to. And he shared about hitchhiking and how when you're hitchhiking, sometimes some rides are better than other rides. But you know what, you keep going till you get the good ride. And I think that's what it's about. So I'm going to leave you that thought, is keep your thumb out, keep hitching for the next lift, and don't be afraid to keep trying stuff, because I think these days people have become fearful about making mistakes. Fuck it, mistakes are part of growing up and being a human being. If we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. If we don't learn and then become a better person from it, then all we're going to do is fumble along and either tread water in one place or tread on eggshells to try and avoid anything at all. Hopefully this makes sense. Tony, yeah, the house is looking good. Thanks, Tone. We're getting there. So that's, we're bringing, you can probably see that. There's quite a lot of water we've got to bring down here. So we've got clay and sand around here, but the big thing is the pond. We want to get it all drained out to the pond. And if I flick you around here, this is coming down tonight. So when the scaffolding comes down, we can pull all the drainage around the back there as well. Anyway, got sidetracked there. Listen, take care all. Hopefully that was inspiring, and I shall see you all very soon. Take care. Have a good day.